Well, thank you for the introduction. Yes, I'm Bisera, and today I will speak about my topic about automatic configuration for Magnolia installation. But before that, they told me when you go, there's one thing you should do before before presenting, and that's it. You should do a selfie. It's for a good luck, and if you know that statement picture, it didn't happen, so please all smile. Thank you very much. So, yeah, as Tobias said, I work at Netcetera. It's a Swiss-based software company. It has location around in Europe, especially in Macedonia, from where I come. What we do basically, it's a great software, and we also do pay attention about innovation and features, and products. So, what I will be talking today is. Basically, I will try to tell you a story how it all began. As usual, we launched the release. The customer was pretty much happy. He said, "Yeah, thanks God. Let's see what we did." He started with the verification and with the testing stuff. And when something is done, first thing you do in the morning is like, yeah, finally we will have the coffee and everything is gonna be smooth, but not. For a couple of many times, it happened that we received emails and the phone rang with saying, hey, we have a problem. We cannot publish the page, or some of the virtual remapping is not working. For example, redirection of some of their favorite sites, or it was also the case when they were not, one of their comments was not working properly, for example, job imports or so. So we took time, we did investigate, and when we found out that it was about the configuration, which was not imported correctly, our custom configuration, we spent time, and time is money. So we sat down and we said, we need to fix it. We cannot, for each release, to pray and say, yeah, this one is going to be right, they will not call again, and stuff like that. So we figured out, we say that configuration properties are of our importance. By I mean ourselves as developers and the customers. So let's automatically check, and let's automatically repair them if they are wrong. And then in that way, we will ensure their correctness, and the world will be pink again. So what we did, as usually, the brainstorming process began. So we started with the planning. We said, okay, we're gonna build the whole feature, or we're gonna go step by step. Then the next step was the development process, which was pretty much easy. And let's see what we did. Okay, so the application is located under Tools. It's called Configuration Check. On the right side, you can add a new configuration, like I'm adding for this demo. For each configuration definition, you have a name, path, where it is located, the property name, and its property value. Like, for example, the default base URL, which is, I think, most common property into the server. But also, because I think I did a mistake there, you can also edit the configuration check. But if you're lazy, you can also import a text file with all the configuration ordered by path, name, value, and so on. As you can see, in the first we have the Magnolia public 8080, which is a local host, and the second was localhost 8090. So if I go into the server, I see that the default base URL is 8081. That's okay. So we have to, it has to be changed to 8080. Whereas here I was thinking, okay, let's modify this. Let's break its logic by purpose and see what will happen. So I'm changing this here to 8090. I go back to the configuration changes, just right click on run configuration checks, and as you can see up here, it's loading. Upon the configurations are finished, the admin user will be informed that the configuration checks have been executed successfully, and less than a minute, it should receive an email. As you can see, I was testing a lot, by saying, dear admin user, the following properties have been changed. Which ones? And For example, the default base rule is to 8080 and this one is to 8080. So let's go back and check if that really works. So if I go back to configuration, as you can see on the both places, I have the configuration I wanted to have. So I mentioned sending emails. On the second tab, you can define here all your admin users, and so in order to receive the email. So we have one central place for all configuration, but let's see what actually we did. So we began basically in the beginning of this year, or it was, I think it was February, when I said, okay, stop it, let's do it really correctly. And then we had a couple of negotiations, and then my project leader said, you know what, do it. If it does not work or if they're not satisfied, there's a saying, always ask for forgiveness. And I was, okay, sorry boss, I'm going on a holiday. And then I went on a holiday, and it was the summer holidays. Then after the holidays, fresh and energized, we came back, and I think it was late September where we did the very initial version, which it was very base one, where it included only the preview of the configuration we would like to have and the current status of the configuration in the configuration web workspace. Then it was, I think, October when a new team member joined on my team, and I had a help and we introduced the ability to import configuration rather than adding them manually. Then some time ago we did also not just importing, I will finish, and we also did a scan and repair of the updates. We also did include the sending of the report email. Next, today I have the pleasure to present this on the Magnolia conference. Afterwards we have the Christmas time. What's the plan for next year? And I will finish up with this. We plan to do more like, what if we change the configuration property values by mistake? What if that was not the value we wanted? So in the email, we would like to enlarge it and say, okay, the property value was changed from that value to this value. Also, what if the configuration property does not exist? Should it be created or not? So we kept all of those features for the next year, and hopefully to do a public release so everybody can use it just if you add it as a Maven dependency. That's all. I'm sorry that I extended the time for a minute or so. If you have any questions, please do ask them now or stay quiet forever.